Hey there, welcome back to another episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. Tonight we're cooking a simple salad and side dish, and it is called barbecued mushrooms with baby corn salad. Ironically, I'm not doing it on the barbecue because I haven't got a barbecue and I can't bother getting the indoor barbecue out. So I'm just going to be using my frying pan with the char grilly bits in it. In the back you can see some water coming to the boil, so come on in and I'll explain what all this is. It's going to serve for. Right, let's go. I'm running a little bit behind because I'm very tired, so trying to push through. Okay, so first of all, it's a 125 gram packet of fresh baby corn. This is 100 grams, but that doesn't matter though. It's all good. 700 grams of baby Desiree potatoes unpeeled. Let's do those ones there. 3 shallots, ends trimmed and thinly sliced. Now what I've done with the other ones is I've put them in the freezer, just put the date on them. If you're doing something where you use where you're cooking the shallots, I can't English right now. They're fine from the freezer. If you need them fresh, I'd suggest just buy a bunch and then put the rest in the freezer. 2 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice. I'm just going to use it from the squeezy bottle. 1 tablespoon of sweet chili sauce. 2 teaspoons of olive oil. Olive oil spray. I don't have olive oil spray. I use the canola oil, but that's fine, near enough. 8 large portobello mushroom stem trim. Now I just asked for 8 because my track record is if I ask for 8 large ones, I'm going to get Titanic ones. These ones are a good size, so I've just got these ones. I'll check them out in a moment. 120 grams of feta crumbled. There's 200 grams there. 1/4 cup of chopped fresh coriander. That's why the scissors are out, because that is a tedious job. I'm getting there with it. I'm just cutting what I want off that, and then I'll put the rest in the freezer. And then a bit of finely grated lemon rind to serve. Okay, so we also need, as you saw, a barbecue / char grill type saucepan. The water in the background is coming to the boil, so what we're going to do is once that comes to the boil, we're going to add the baby corn for 2 minutes or until just tender, and then we're going to remove that and put the potatoes in. So these are going to go in the pot and I'll be back. Okay, so after 2 minutes you remove them with a slotted spoon. I'm assuming they're done, they're only small. I'm still going with my coriander, and in go your potatoes, straight into the bath. They were pretty big baby potatoes, those ones. I've popped the timer on for 10 minutes. So while they're bubbling away in their bath, so the easiest way probably with the coriander is to just pick the leaves off and just cut it. As I say, very tedious job. Or you could just pick it all and then get your chopper out. Whatever's the easiest way. That's probably about 1/4 cup there anyway, so I'm not going to go any further with that. So that's going to just go in a Ziploc bag into the freezer for something else. And then we'll move on with the next step. I just had a memory then of when I used to cook when I was first starting to cook. So I was a lot younger then, and I always used to have my mama actually pick all the leaves off for me, and she'd chop it all up, and she never complained about it as much as I do. So sorry mama, complain about it, still I do. Very good. All right, so while they're going on, we're going to cook them for 10 minutes until tender, drain and then halve. And then we're going to grab a bowl and then put everything in. So what we can start to do is actually cook these mushrooms. So it just says to trim the stems. So it's pretty straightforward. If someone told you to trim a stem, you would actually just be cutting it, I guess, so it's flat. Well, they are pretty flat, aren't they? I don't want to kill them. Let's see if I've got 8 here. I'm not going to cut them away. I'm probably going to be throwing out the best bits. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I've got 8. They are huge. See why I didn't ask for large ones? Because they can be bigger than that. All right, so in that, I won't say that and just not explain it. Spray this with your cooking spray, or if you can, do them on the barbecue. You probably get them done a bit quicker. So what we're going to do is we are cooking them on the barbecue stem side down for 3 minutes. Okay, and then we're going to be putting feta on them. So I have already sprayed it, and I did get it hot because I had to give it a bit of a wash anyway. So we're basically playing stacks on here. All right, so 3 minutes, and then we're going to turn them over. I was just looking for an easier way to open the feta, and I could have been a smart ass and said, yeah, an easier way to open it is to give it to someone else to do, but I haven't got anyone else here to do it, so it's not a very smart thing to say. Did I need some? Oh, I need another spoon as well. The other spoons are still in the wash up. No, I'm not lazy. I actually did. The previous episode was actually cooked this morning, and now it is tonight. And I hate doing 2 episodes in one day, but when you're this tired, you sort of just do weird shit. Like 2 cooks. And I didn't want to do 2 cooks in a row tonight, so I have actually been up earlier than I normally would on today's day, which is a Monday. So it's been a very long day. Okay. So we're just going to cut up 120 grams. So that's 6. No, that's 100. Okay. Good, I can have some feta to munch on. I love feta. Okay. So just chop it up because we're basically just going to crumble it up. Now, the timer that's on in the background is not for the mushrooms. It's for the potatoes, which, as I said, I think the potatoes are going to need longer. So I'm going to turn the mushrooms over now. We'll see how they're looking. So I just picked one up. They're not cooked yet, so they can have a bit longer. Now my buzzer's just gone off for 10 minutes, which there's no way those potatoes will be done. So I'm going to give them another 6 minutes. Let's just stab the potatoes. We don't want the potatoes super cooked. Yeah, no, they're not done. I'm going to turn the potatoes up higher. Potatoes take forever to cook. That's why I got the water on earlier. I very rarely use this hot plate that the mushrooms are on, but it is hot. Yeah, I can see stuff coming off them. No, I'm not going to touch the frying pan to see how hot it is. I occasionally accidentally touch the grill plate at work. That'll do for me. And I know that's hot. Should have taken these to work to do. They would have been done in a third of the time. All right, I'll be back when we're flipping the mushrooms. Okay, so I'm just going to flip the mushrooms over. They're not really cooked right through, but what I'll do, I reckon they'll cook better if I cook them this way up. So turn them up so they look like a cup. Ah! Frying pan's hot now. And just sprinkle some feta inside each one. I don't want to run out of feta. So in case you haven't noticed, this is a meat-free recipe. And a lot of times if you do meat-free recipes, mushrooms is a very good alternative. I'm not vegetarian. I love meat, but when I saw this recipe with the potatoes and the corn and mushrooms, I thought I really need to start eating more vegetables. They're sort of the thing that get pushed aside literally at the moment. So when I can, I will try and do recipes like this. Now you can always serve a piece of steak or something on the side with it, or put some chicken in with the salad. Something if you want. But I just thought the idea of, I love these big mushrooms. Always been a fan of mushrooms. So I thought this would be, and they'd be really nice on the barbecue. So if anyone actually does get the barbecue out, which in Australia we're still in the middle of, well, we're not in the middle of winter, we're in the end of winter. So maybe if you're in America and you have your barbecue and you want to do these on the barbecue, I'd love to hear how you go with them on the barbecue. Okay, the potatoes are getting there now that I've cranked them up. So I'm just basically going to leave the mushrooms until that feta melts. And then what I'll do is I'll just lift the pan off the heat so they stay warm. And I'm going to start on the rest of the salad, which I can't really do much of until the potatoes are done. So while that's going on, use the eyes in the back of your head. I'm not joking, because this way you can keep cooking what you're doing in there while you're getting a little bit further ahead. So it says to use a screw top jar. Now I do have one somewhere, because I always used to make my dressings and sauces up in a jar and literally shake it, and there you go. So I'm just going to use the jug with a fork, which is not the same, but it will do the same job. So quite simply into the jug, all we are adding is our 2 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice. This is a half a tablespoon, so I've got to do 4. I've got a beautiful symphony going on behind me. I've got the bubbling potatoes and the sizzling mushrooms. Beautiful. Okay, that's the lemon juice, 1 tablespoon of sweet chili sauce. I love sweet chili sauce. So this is once again 2 half tablespoons. And then we've got 2 teaspoons of olive oil to go in with that. Now this is a teaspoon. Okay, mushrooms are going good. I think the potatoes should be nearly ready. So 2 of these. Now I've got my bowl, which once again I used this morning. There we go, it's dry for me. All right, so if that was a jar, you would have shook that up by now, but that's all good. All right, I'm going to go check on the potatoes and I'll be back. I'm going to leave the mushrooms at that because they're sitting in the hot frying pan still. They are still cooking. Now, the good news is that the potatoes are actually nearly done. That is the great news. Stabby stab. Like, you don't want your potatoes hard, but you don't want them really soft as well. So they're nearly done because we've got to cut them in half. Even though these ones are so big that I'm actually going to have to cut them into quarters. So, but they will cool a lot quicker when you cut them. Hot potato. So into the bowl will be the baby corn, the potatoes, and the shallots. And we can't do anything else until we've got the potatoes. So I'll see you soon. While we're waiting, I'm going to zest the lemon rind over the mushrooms because it's got to be done anyway. So this will actually give them a lemony flavour while they're cooling but staying warm. Okay, so potatoes are eventually done. I've cut them up into quarters because they were huge. Over goes the dressing. Just toss them. Sprinkle over the coriander. Okay. And dish up and enjoy. Thank you for watching this episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. This has been barbecued mushrooms with baby corn salad. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll catch you on the next adventure. Don't forget, hit subscribe and you'll never miss a moment. Bye!